The Pale Blue Eye by Bayard. Read by Charles Leggett.
For A.J., the sorrow for the dead is the only sorrow from which we refuse to be divorced. Washington Irving, Rural Funerals. Mid the groves of Circassian splendor, in a brook darkly dappled with sky, in a moon-shattered brook raked with sky, Athene's lissom maidens did render obeisances lisping and shy. There I found Leonore, lorn and tender, in the clutch of a cloud-rending cry. Harrowed hard, I could aught but surrender to the maid with the pale blue eye, to the ghoul with the pale blue eye. Last Testament of Gus Landor, April 19th, 1831. In 2 or 3 hours, well, it's hard to tell. In 3 hours, surely, or at the very outside 4 hours. Within 4 hours, let us say, I'll be dead. I mention it because it puts things in a certain perspective. My fingers, for instance, have become interesting to me of late. Also, the lowermost slat in the Venetian blinds, a bit askew. And outside the window, a wisteria shoot, snapped off, the main stem, waggling like a gallows. I never noticed that before. Something else, too. At this moment, the past comes on with all the force of the present. All the people who've peopled me, don't they come thronging round. What keeps 'em from bumping heads, I wonder? There's a Hudson Park alderman by the hearth. Next to him, my wife, in her apron, ladling ashes into the can. And who's watching her but my old Newfoundland retriever? Down the hall, my mother, who never set foot in this house, died before I reached the age of 12. She's ironing my Sunday suit. Curious thing about my visitors, none of them says a word to the others. Very strict etiquette in place. I can't work out the rules of it. Not everyone, I should say, minds the rules. For the past hour I've been having my ear bent, torn, nearly, by a man named Claudius Foote. I arrested him 15 years ago for robbing the Rochester mail. A vast injustice. He had 3 witnesses who swore he was robbing the Baltimore mail at the time. He flew into a fine rage about it, skipped town on bail, came back 6 months later, crazy with cholera, and threw himself in front of a hackney cab. Talked all the way to death's door, still...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?